Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can, because what I'm really focusing now is XRP. I did mention about XRP in the last meeting, right? I think the last meeting when I mentioned, right? If we look, let me bring you guys to the coin market cap. Yeah, so you can see over here, right? Coin market cap. We have XRP here, which is basically the third. Okay, XRP is the third cryptocurrency in the world. So please take note. Okay, now I believe the season, okay, or the timing of the Bitcoin, and also the Ether, right? The price is too high, right? The price is too high, and I likely, even if you go into Bitcoin or Ethereum, there is a diminishing return. Okay, but what I'm really feel, okay, I think XRP will have a much greater potential in terms of the yield, okay, in terms of the return compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And also look at the price; it's only about $3. I think last week when I was having this meeting and I spoke to you about XRP, it was only $2.80. So look at the growth, okay? It is already $3.13. So just imagine, right? If this price doubles, or if this price becomes $10 or $20, you probably are sitting on the gold mine, all right, on the gold mine here. So I see there is huge potential here. Okay, now please understand, XRP has gone through some very struggling moments for the past 10 years, right? XRP has been around since 2012. So they have been going through a lot of the struggles with the regulatories and all those things, but they have come out of those struggles. And I believe that if they start to become the global payment, right? So if they start to take over the SWIFT, when bank starts to use XRP, for the payment and all those things, then imagine, right, what will be the price of this XRP. So if you ask me, okay, even in terms of the market cap, right, although if you look, right, it's a huge market cap while the price is still very small. So this is a huge opportunity, because if you look at the rest of it, although the market cap is huge, right, but the price is also on the high side. All right, so if you have the opportunity, right, I think XRP is something that you can look into. So I'm looking into ways if I can create an opportunity where you can earn XRP. So I'm not so sure how many of you will be interested, right? So if you can earn XRP, let's say for example, if you invest, let's say, right, one XRP is $3. So if you invest 20 XRP and you can make, let's say for example, right, 40 XRP, right? You can make double of your XRP, for example, right? So whether that will be an interest of our team, all right? So that is something that I'm looking at. So just imagine a 10 XRP is only $30. 20 XRP is around $60 or $70. So just imagine, right? We are not talking about 100, 200, 300. We are just talking about a reasonable amount where everyone can actually participate, right? So if you come in with a minimum 20 XRP, which is only about, let's say, $70, and you are actually also earning another 20 XRP, right? So let's say you make 200%. So just imagine, right? At the end of 200%, you might have 40 XRP, right? Because 20 XRP is your capital, another 20 is basically your return. So now imagine, right? If by then, all right, let's say for example, it takes you about a year or so, right? You get double of everything, right? So, but within that 1 year, right, or 1.5 year, imagine if XRP is $10. Okay, so if XRP is $10 and now you have 40 XRP, that will be $400. So you spend $70, but because you are holding the XRP, now your XRP value is $400. You see that? So that is how we work here. So while the price is low, is the best time to go in, right? Is to go in now at $3. And if the price goes up, you know, $10, or imagine if one XRP is $100. Now, some people, they don't believe that this can happen. Yes, we never believed that Bitcoin can be 120,000, right? No one believed that. No one even imagined Ethereum will be 4,000. I remember when I bought Ethereum, it was only about $3. All right, it's $3. That's all. Bitcoin was around $300. Now look at it. No one believed, right? Now imagine if that happens to XRP. All right. So you probably today's discussion, right? If this is recorded, a 6 month down the line or 12 month down the line, you will remember, right? Or you may be even watch again the YouTube, and you might recall that I did told you that it is possible, right, for XRP price to go up. So looking into you know, the looking into the potential, okay, that XRP has, I think this could be a huge opportunity, okay, for the team. But please understand, risk is always there. Okay, we are not saying that there is no risk, but those who go in early, right, is the one that is going to benefit. So imagine, right, it is now $3. Okay, if you come in 6 months down the road and it is $10, it is different. If you come in at $10, there is a risk that it can go back to $5. So you might take the risk. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why if you earn 200%, then you don't have the risk, right? Because you get 100% of your capital, you get another 100% of the profit. So even if the price comes down, you are still actually in profit. All right. So that's the reason why the 200 concept, okay, will work very well. Okay. But nevertheless, it's just a thought that I have, finding ways, what can I do, or in what way I can create some opportunity for our people, so that, you know, you can earn securely, but at the same time, I want our community to accumulate XRP. All right. So that is the whole idea of it. Okay. So if you just looking at this, guys, look at it. Third in the world, and it's only $3. BNB is already the fifth, but it's already 900. So already close to 1,000. Solana is already 200 over. Which one will you buy if you have the chance to buy now? Can you see that? I would rather just buy XRP, right? All right. So that is basically the justification behind it. But nevertheless, you can go to CoinMarketCap. You can go click XRP. You know, you can go and study details about XRP, right? They got a white paper. They got a website. So you can go and study the detail. And even if you look at XRP, right? From here, it went up all the way from 0.006. It went up all the way. Okay, imagine if this goes up again. All right. So these are some of the information that you can actually go and study and look into it and understand. So when you want to get involved with something, you have to really spend some time to understand it. All right. So this is just to give some kind of introduction. Okay. I don't want to go detailed, but I think there is a massive opportunity here. Okay. It's just that what to say? It's just that we don't want the team to miss out. Okay. So I hope yeah, great. Okay, good to have you guys. All right. So I hope you can see what I see. Okay. So it's just basically, sometimes it's the foresight. So you have the foresight and you try to position yourself. So that is basically you know, the whole idea here. Okay, because one thing that I really I really anticipate, right, when come to crypto, is that if you have the foresight and you know roughly that what is going to happen, example for XRP, right? So all that you need to do for the wealth transfer is to position yourself. That's all. All right, is to position yourself. So you do not need to do anything. If you position yourself accurately, the world will actually look for you rather than you looking for it. You see that? It's the same thing, right? I think Obong always mentioned, right? I think I mentioned about Bitcoin when it was 30,000. If at that time, some of you would have positioned yourself, I think Papua New Guinea was $600, guys, when I was at the Stanley Hotel. If some of them would have listened and positioned themselves, and bought Bitcoin, imagine what would have happened now. Can I see that? Can you see that? A 30,000, now it is already 5 times, right? It is already 4 times, 120,000. A 600 in 2015 when I was in Papua New Guinea. If some would have just buy 100 kina every month, 100 kina every month, 100 kina every month, what would have happened? You see that? So it's all about positioning, you see. So there is no guarantee. I don't want, the thing that I really worry about our people is that when they fail or when it doesn't happen, then they blame me. That is what I don't like. That's why I stopped introducing a lot of things to the team. Now, please understand, okay? Don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm just introducing things to you, but don't take it personal and come and attack me, okay? That is I don't like. All right? If I don't introduce, then who is going to introduce to you? You tell me. You have to find yourself, but there is risk involved if you are going to do research on your own, right? So I'm just doing my part here, giving you the opportunity, by introducing things, but you cannot bear me responsible for any kind of failure, right? Because there is always a risk and reward. So that's why I'm quite worried, okay? I'm quite worried. I actually took myself off from introducing things. Even I have great programs with me where people can make a lot of money. I just stopped introducing. All right, because of the attitude, right? The attitude is wrong. So when the attitude of the people is wrong, then I don't want to keep introducing things. All right, but now I feel strong. This XRP is something that I feel strong that people should actually look into it. Okay, so anyhow, I think you can study and justify, okay, why XRP has a huge potential, because XRP has not break out yet. And please understand, XRP is a US brand, and Donald Trump and the sons are behind it. Anything has to do with US brand, it will soon, okay, it will soon explode. So that's why I say, right, if you understand some of this in narrative, right, and you position yourself, come on. Okay, yes, when Bitcoin was 30,000, you didn't buy it. Okay, fine. Come on, XRP is $3. All right, if 30,000 you didn't buy it, and at that time probably 30,000 was expensive, or probably at that time we couldn't see the future of Bitcoin, right? So you can see, right, it's faith. So even in investment, you need faith. You need to be able to see things that other people actually don't see. You believe in certain things that other people don't believe. That is actually what this faith is all about. Am I right? So, and you do something and people may say you are crazy. All right. So this is it, guys. But the thing is that there are 50-50 chance, right? What if you bought Bitcoin at 30,000 and the price become 100,000? What if you buy at 30,000, the price become 15,000? That is always a what if. There is always a risk and reward. So when you go into something, always remember, there is no guarantee, but there is a 50-50 chance. Now, what if, okay, if I ask you, what if XRP price become $100? You will hit your head in the wall, remembering me, Dr. John told us to buy, we never buy, when it is $3. And now you want to buy at $100. You are too late. You see that? So that is it, right? Simple, right? Can you see how simple it is? So it's not about how, oh, I don't have much money. If I buy, only you can buy 10. Okay, even if it's a 10, come on. If one XRP become $1,000, how? Isn't that crazy? It's $10,000, my friend. $10,000 times your currency is a big money in your country. It's a lot. So don't underestimate some of these little things, right? It's not about, let me tell you, it's not about how much. It's about the seed that you sow. Because you do not know the capacity of that seed. Whether the tree is going to be small or big, you don't know. And for you to sow that seed, you need faith. Am I right? Because once you sow the seed, you have to rely on to God, because you don't know what happened underneath. All that you can do is to pour water, to fertilize that is your part. The rest of it is depend on God, because only He knows the life of that seed and what is going to be produced out of that seed. And imagine, suddenly you wake up after a few years and you notice this huge tree, right? And now you start to enjoy the fruits. Not only the fruits, you even actually have abundance to give it away. So you don't know, but it started with this belief that you just sowed that seed. So it's not about how much, guys. It's about your action, right? That small action that you took is something that can actually, so that is what I'm trying to say, right? Yes, failure is part of it. Sometimes, you may have all kinds of issues. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, right? So, but nevertheless, I just want you guys to understand that, because I don't want to be in an awkward position that, oh, Dr. John introduced and now we are going to get it, and then suddenly things go sour and then you start to blame me. Please don't do that. All right. So if you are going to come in, then you take the responsibility for it. See, the problem is that we have so many people who are not true investors. They are basically gamblers. Gamblers, they only want to win. They don't want to lose. But if you are a true investors, then you know there is always a risk and reward. That's why even if you look at some of these great investors, they don't have one portfolio. They don't put money into one portfolio. They have multiple portfolios. So if one portfolio failed, they got 9 that is generating the return or the profit. You see that? Our people's problem is that they put everything into one and thinking that one is going to give them everything. That is the biggest problem. You see? So there are many portfolios that you can have, So that is important. So that is how you strategically, think, okay? Strategically think and strategically find ways how you want to find different portfolios. You see? So you can have JD Export, you can have JD WealthMaker, JD Copy Master, you can have XRP, you can have other things, right? But make sure it is not concentrated into one. You see that? So that is basically what I'm trying to say, right? So if anything happens, you don't have a reason to blame anyone, right? Because you have your strategy, because you know if things goes wrong, it doesn't affect you too much because you do have other portfolio. So that's why a lot of these wealthy people who are investors, they are smart. You see, gamblers are different. When gamblers, they only gamble on one thing and they want to win. If they lose, they will take a stick or they will take a knife or they will do something to come and kill you, right? I don't want to be working with gamblers. I only want to be working with true investors. You see that? That is important. Okay, so this is key. Okay, this is very, very important for every one of us to understand. So that's why I'm just thinking, right? If I can create a simple program where our team can earn XRP, right? Will that be awesome? All right. So that is the question you can put in the chat. What do you think about it, right? So if you can come in with a minimum of 20 XRP, let's say, right? 20 XRP times the market price now, right? So whatever the market price, if the market price is $3, 20 XRP will be around $60. If the market price suddenly go down to $2.80, so it is going to be $2.80. So imagine if you come in with 20 XRP and you are earning 40 XRP, right? So you get 20, you come in with 20, you earn 20 more. So you get 40 XRP at the end of it, right? So will this be a promising plan, right? Where people can start to earn XRP. So what happened is that every month, right, you receive XRP in your wallet, in your XRP wallet. So you create an XRP wallet and keep your XRP in the wallet. So the whole idea here is that we want our team to actually hold and accumulate XRP. That is it. You see that? So it doesn't matter, right? Even you can come in with 50 XRP. You can come in with 100 XRP. So if you come in with 100 XRP, you will earn another 100 XRP. If you come in with 1,000 XRP, you earn another 1,000 XRP, right? Because you earn 200%. So now, this is great because one XRP is $3. So it means that if a minimum 20 XRP, that means it's only about $60. Now, come on, guys. Is there any investment that is so reasonable that you can put in the money, right? That you can earn 200%? You just think about it. You have a lot of investment where, yes, they give you, you put the money in their back office and so on, and then they disappear. You see that? They exit. So which investment you want to choose, right? So these are some of the important things that you can consider, right? So, but nevertheless, I look forward to hear from the team, okay? What do you think, okay, of such plan, right? So, so please understand, okay? Yeah, it's true, right? So you can see, that's why I'm telling you guys that there are many other factors, right? I think that is like a very reasonable market cap is big. But please understand, okay? One of the biggest potential of XRP is not, XRP price is not where it is because of the market cap. The price is there because of all the suppress of the regulatory that they have gone through for the past 10 years. You see that? So that's why you see Bitcoin flourish, right? Bitcoin price, already all-time high. The market cap is so huge. Ethereum price went all-time high. The market cap is so huge. But if you look at XRP, market cap is huge. They are third in the world, but the price is so low. Now imagine, right? I think they already won the SEC case. So now they are looking into a lot of different ETF, right? And imagine, right? If all these ETF starts to get approved, and then they start to, I think Swift is now starting to do a beta testing working with XRP. So imagine, right? Even if XRP take over 5% or 10% of the market cap of the Swift, XRP can become a global payment system in the world. And then the banks will start to come in, right? But I think the huge potential, yes, XRP is a US brand. And anything that is US brand, Donald Trump and the team are behind it. So that is the potential. So I'm not saying that XRP will become $3,000. No. Right? I don't want to hype things around. But how if XRP becomes $6? How is XRP become $10? All right, that's huge, right? That is huge. So that is like 100% or 200% of return. And if you are earning XRP, and at that point of time, you can actually go and swap it back to USDT and immediately take the profit if you want to, right? So that is what I'm trying to say, right? So, but the thing is that please understand, there is always a 50-50, right? Risk and reward, 50-50 chance, okay? Because anything can happen when come to crypto, right? Bitcoin went to 69,000 and then it came down to 15,000. Bitcoin currently is 124 over 1,000. It can come down. So there is always a risk involved because why? A lot of the people don't know the timing when to buy. You see that? But if you look at XRP now, right, the price is at the bottom, right? The price is at the bottom and it is at the accumulating stage. So it has not really break out to its potential, right, compared to Bitcoin and also Ethereum. All right, so that is what we are trying to see here, right? So it is the potential that we can see in XRP itself, right? So, but nevertheless, everyone has to do their own study, okay? Because at the end of it, XRP got a lot of negative review. All right, they can be because of the market cap is too big. Number two, it can be because that the huge amount is still controlled by certain owners and so on. So there's a lot of different things. But if XRP really going to break out, they will solve all these problems. All right, I think one of the biggest hurdle they have gone through is the regulatory. Okay, so imagine if this regulatory is resolved, big things can happen to XRP. All right. So, but nevertheless, all right, it is always take with a pinch of salt. Okay, 50-50. Okay, please understand that. So, what if XRP suddenly become $10 and you miss that move? You understand me? All right. What if? All right. So, and then you will say, oh my goodness, I never thought that this can happen. Yes, that is the reason why many people miss the move, because they never thought of, or they never believe, you know. So that is important. So you have to understand about it. You have to believe. When you go in, you go in. All right. There is no turning back. You see that? So if you see the price at certain range and you think that, okay, I think I'm just going to. So the whole idea is very simple, guys. When the price goes up, it's not about selling everything. Maybe you can partially sell half of your XRP and remove your capital. So once you remove your capital, you have no risk, right? Okay, you have the peace of mind because you already sold half of it. So that is how you play the game in the crypto. It's not like you sell everything and then now you got nothing and then you have to buy back when the price is high. Don't do that. You see that? So you sell half of it, all right, and then you wait for the next half of it, wait for the price to go up. So even if you hold the remaining 50% for a longer term, you don't really feel the pressure, right? You don't feel it because you already actually taken back your capital. Okay, and actually more than that, capital and profit, right? Example, let's say now you go in at $3, all right, and you buy 100 XRP. So that means you are only investing how much? $300, right? Now imagine if XRP is $5. That means now you have already made how much? 500. Am I right? You have already made, 100 XRP times $3, right? Is $300. So you spend 300, but if XRP become $5, now you already made 500. Can you take your 300? Yes, you can sell some of your XRP, take your 300 immediately, and then you leave the rest to make you more profit. So now you have already recovered your capital. You have no risk at all. You see that? So that is how you have to think if you are going to go in, because these are risk assets. And remember, right? These are all assumption, right? These are assets that are assumption assets, right? Because there is no guarantee that anything can happen to this asset. Okay, but looking into the community of XRP, huge community, they got a huge community, and imagine, guys, one good news will push the price up. Right, one good news can push the price up. So that's how behavior actually, impact and influence the price of this, of these coins, okay, of these assets. Okay, so just understand that. Okay, great. All right. Okay. I hope you guys are learning. All right. This is something that, as an investor, right, you have to understand. You have to take some risk. But the thing is that the most important thing is that look at the potential. And as I mentioned, right, look at the potential. And number two, you need to accurately position yourself. So if you know, you have the foresight and you know roughly this is what is going to happen, you position yourself. You don't need to do anything in crypto, guys. Example, right? If years back, let's say Obong would have he would have bought even one Bitcoin, right? I say one household, one Bitcoin, right? One family, one Bitcoin. So at 30,000, if he would have bought one Bitcoin and he would have hold it until today, doing nothing, right? Can you see how easy to become rich? Do nothing. The biggest problem with human is that they cannot live without doing nothing. They want to do something. That's the problem. When we tell them do nothing, they say there is such thing as do nothing. And then they will start to quote scriptures and tell you, oh no, God asks us to work. If you don't work, you cannot. Who told you so? Why suddenly you become spiritual? Isn't that so easy, right? You buy and you do nothing. The problem with people, they like to do everything else. They cannot sit down quiet, do nothing. Certain investment like crypto, you should do nothing. Like stock market, you buy low, you do nothing for 30 years. That's why Warren Buffett becomes so rich, by doing nothing. You see that? So this is the problem with people, because we are so used to become so efficient. We want to do something, we don't have the patience to just wait, do nothing. That's the problem. You see, that's why you can see, right? Like JDX bot. We are trading, nothing happened. Now they become impatient. Why nothing happened? Because they don't have the patience. They can't wait doing nothing. You see that? So this is the secret, right? The secret to become wealthy is doing nothing. All right. You position, you find the right product, the right market, and then you position yourself, and then you do nothing. So your goal is what? Your goal depends on you, right? Some of your goal can be $10 XRP, then you want to liquidate. Some of your goal is $100 XRP, you want to liquidate. Some of you at $10, you liquidate 50%, and then you wait for $100, you liquidate the remaining. So that is how long you wait. It's up to you. You see that? So that's how it works, right? Simple, right? So very simple, guys. And here we are paying so much of money to learn from Howard how to become wealthy, and then we go attend all the different courses and so on. At the end of it, the guy who is giving the courses is becoming a multi-millionaire, and everyone who attended this course still poor. Am I right? So that is the reality, right? So that is why they become so rich, right? Just by giving trainings, okay? So I'm giving to you free of charge, okay? You do not need to pay me, right? Free of charge, this kind of advice, okay? All that you need to do is position yourself. You position yourself, the market will look for you. You don't need to look for it because you already position yourself, right? But anyhow, right? Always think, okay, what if? What if, okay? So if at that point of time at 30,000, if somebody would have thought, what if Bitcoin become 100,000? You see that? What if, right? So this is the problem because not many people believe the what if. All right, so that's the biggest problem. Okay, so but nevertheless, these are just, a great discussion. Okay, all right, let's move on quickly. Okay, let me just bring you back into. All right, I want to go back to this chart. Okay, now yesterday, right, was the basically is yesterday, right, was the rate hike, right? I think rate cut. Okay, so we had the 0.25 basis rate cut. So we don't really see much movement in the market because 0.25 rate cut not really affecting actually in terms of inflation and all those things. Okay, it's not really huge, but I think it is basically can be either a political stress, that the Fed has to make that decision to actually cut the rate, or probably they are starting with 0.25 and then they're going to go another 2 rate cut in this year. All right, so that's how basically things is going to move. Now, but what I really want to bring to your attention, right? If you look at Bitcoin at the moment, right? Bitcoin is actually respecting this level, okay, this level. Now, if we go back to the history, right? If you go back to the history of this level, right? Let me just see if I can show you that. So I just want to go back to this history, right? So if I just bring you back, right? So you can see all the way, right? All the way 2021. Can you see that? 2021 over here. So this line, right, is actually respecting all the way. All right, all the way. So that's why what we saw here, right? If you look into it, what we are seeing here is that although, yes, okay, if you look over here, right, Bitcoin went above this historical trend. Okay, it went above, but it came back. Okay, it came back respecting that line. You see that? It came back respecting the line. Then it goes down, then it goes up again. It comes back to that line. So this is like a centric line, all right? A centric historic line. And then it went down, it coming back again to respect this line. Can you see that? So now Bitcoin probably at a very, very critical, critical situation here, right? Because you can see it is still basically respecting. So the sellers are pushing the price down when Bitcoin actually reaching this level. So now, the only way Bitcoin can be bullish, okay, is for Bitcoin to actually go on the daily chart, okay, on the daily time frame. But it has to actually go beyond or above this line and remain above for at least about 3 to 4 days. So if Bitcoin can go up and remain above here for 3 to 4 days, then we could see a breakout. high likely it can actually touch the previous all-time high, 124,000, or it can even actually go to 135,000. But with the condition, Bitcoin has to actually go up, okay? Actually go up against this historical trend and remain there for 3 to 4 days. Okay, so but at the moment, right, if we look into it, there is still a resistance there. Right, it is not able, okay, to actually break this level. So at the moment, we are seeing Bitcoin, although it is a bullish, it's like a bullish bull flag, it's a bull flag, but we are not really seeing strength in this bull flag. Okay, now the next, right, if Bitcoin price actually comes down, where are we expecting the price to go, right? Now, what I'm looking at is definitely the next level I'm watching is 107. Okay, so Bitcoin comes down hard, then we could actually see Bitcoin move towards 107. And if 107 break, then we go back again to this psychological level. 100K is always a psychological level, right? So if it breaks, then we got the CME gap at 92,000. But the CME gap 92,000, it seems like a very possible level for Bitcoin to actually revisit. Why? Because if you go and take a trend, right? If you just go and take the trend, so if we take this trend from 2023, and if you take this trend up, right? So you can see that if Bitcoin actually comes down, it may coincide with this trend over here. You see that? So high likely, right? We could actually see Bitcoin coming down. Actually, in worst case scenario, Bitcoin can even go even further down to 75,000. All right. And if this break, then Bitcoin will be in a very terrible situation because we can even get back to 45,000. All right. So these are the important levels that we are actually watching here when it comes to Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin to remain to remain bullish, it has to break this historical level. We are talking about 117, 118,000. So it has to remain above 180,000 for at least few days. Okay, 4 or 5 days. The longer it remains, that means it's actually consolidating, right? It's consolidating, a bullish consolidation, and then it will start to push further up. All right. So you can see every time a bullish consolidation takes place, it will push up. All right. So that's basically what we are looking at. But on the other hand, right, also if we look into the, let me just get this trend. If we look into the volume, right, we are not really seeing much volume. Can you see that? So volume is actually also coming down. So high likely, right? High likely looks to me, if the bull is not able, all right, to come in to defend, then we could actually see, we could actually see Bitcoin price breakdown, all right, breakdown. So if it breaks down, then we could actually see a major flush out, right? Major flush out. Now, the other thing also, if you look into the Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance is also coming down. Can you see that? So this is a very important, right? Remember, as I mentioned always, right? When Bitcoin dominance comes down, that means the money is now flowing into other assets. It can be gold, it can be Ethereum, it can be a mid cap such as Solana, Binance. So money starts to flow into this kind of mid cap. And then it will then finally, right, if it still further comes down, this is where Bitcoin price will then start to crash down. All right. But if this is defended and the Bitcoin dominance starts to go up, that is then all the altcoins you will start to see they will start to have a problem. All right. So so this is a very important indicator to see whether are we actually transiting into the alt season. I believe the alt season is already starting because we are already starting to see those altcoins are already, right, going up in prices and so on. Okay, so but nevertheless, be very cautious because anything can happen. Okay, in the market at the moment. Okay, so this is basically just to give you an overview of Bitcoin. Okay, so on the on the upper side, what we are looking at on the upside, and also on the downside, what we are really looking at. Okay, so my biggest worry point or my biggest concern is that we will start to see a huge sell-off. All right, high likely if Bitcoin goes to 118,000, and so we might see a huge sell-off coming in where institutions will start to take profits and so on. Okay, so that's the danger of the crypto because it's highly speculative, right? So that's the reason why you have to be cautious no matter whatever that you go in, right? Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, right? All these are speculative assets. There is no certainty. There is no certainty to say where this asset, will go. There is no future price reference, nothing. These are all speculative assets. Okay, so will Bitcoin be there forever? No one knows. All right, probably there will be another asset, another coin, that can actually take over Bitcoin. All right, so we don't know. So once Bitcoin become a reserve currency, right, there is no more value in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin may die, okay, and there can be other assets that come on board and so on. Okay, so these are some of the important things that need to be really, understand what is going on. Okay, but from a bigger overview, right, from the bigger market perspective, I'm studying a lot about the market, and I'm a bit concerned because there are a lot of manipulation going on. All right, a lot of manipulation going on. I think you guys been hearing about stable coin and why US actually introduced, the Genius Act, and how they might even plan to, to resolve the 35 trillion debts using stable coins. So there are a lot of this plan, a lot of the schemes are going on. All right, so a lot of things are definitely taking place. A lot of manipulations are going to come on board. You can see institutions are coming on board and so on, right? So institutions, they are not coming on board because they love store of value. No. They love profit. All right. So if you see them buying, also expect them selling, right? So when they sell, it's going to be huge. Okay. The drop can be massive. Right. So just take note of that. Okay. All right. Any questions with regard to the market situation? Anything you would like to ask me on this before I proceed? Okay, all right. It's no questions. If there is, you can actually raise hand at the bottom. There is an icon, right? Raise hand. I can unmute you, or you can put in the chat room. Okay, but the thing is that it's just a macro understanding, right? What is going on? So I was expecting for some kind of volatility yesterday, but there's nothing much because basically 0.25% basis point is already factored in. Okay, so there's not much excitement in the market or surprise in the market actually. Okay, so but nevertheless, I think most probably, right, sometimes 1 or 2 days you don't see any much movement. After a few days, right, you start to see huge movement coming into the market and so on. So we have to wait and see, right, at the moment. But you can see money starting to flow because gold already hit all-time high, right, 3,700. So gold has already gone all-time high because money starts to move into this risk on assets. Okay, people start to put money because they might be thinking there is more future or more security in gold rather than US dollar, right? Now the other danger that we also have is the US dollar, right? So if you look into the US dollar, right, look at the US dollar has been coming down, right? US dollar has been coming down. So this is another huge danger, right? So because of all this narrative, right? So people are ditching US dollar and they are basically selling US dollar for gold. They are selling US dollar for other assets, right? Okay, but nevertheless, just be very careful because we are starting to see, some kind of push. Can you see that? Some kind of push already from the buyers, right? So if the US dollar starts to move upside, then a lot of these risk-on assets like Bitcoin and so on will start to crash, right? So this is something that have to be very, very careful, okay? Because we can already start to see on the daily, right? We can already start to see buyers are coming in, All right. So so if this goes up, then definitely I think we start to see a huge impact, okay, with the Bitcoin price and so on. Okay, so just take note of that. All right, great. Any questions? Okay. Now, if there is no questions, I want to quickly just go to JDXBot. All right, JDXBot. I want to just explain a few important things for those of you who have a JDXBot. Okay. Now, some of you probably some have asked me, right? Okay. Let's say if I start with 200. All right, and then I top up. Okay, I top up another 100. So now my available balance become 300. Or in this example, now you can see my this testable, right, is $500. So the base available balance is $500, but now you see it's 600. Because remember, right, the sub account, right, the sub account goes into the main account. So you start to see your main account balance is now greater. Or you say, I want to top up my account. I've been running 200 for quite some times, and I now want to change. I want to top up. I want to earn more, so I want to top up. I want to make it, let's say, 400. Okay, now, the question is, when should you actually top up? All right, that's the question, okay? So now, let me just explain to you how these things work so that at least you understand what you're supposed to do if you want to top up, okay? Now, please understand that you can top up even when the bot is running. You can top up. But please understand, when you top up, when the bot is running, let's say, for example, if you start with 200 in your main account and your sub account is 100. So if you top up your main account, let's say, right, from 200, you now top up another 100. So you make it 300. Remember that you also need to top up your sub account, right? Because minimum is 50%. So 300 of 50%, that will be 150. So means you also have to top up your sub account with another $50. So you can do it while the bot is running, but please understand that JDXBot will not recognize your 300 as your base available balance yet. So when we do the DCA, when the trading is still continuing, we will only recognize as 200. We will not recognize as 300. Okay, so please understand that. So this will continue until the cycle complete, until the position closes. So like this example, right? Although I have 600, but my base available balance is 500. So that means when the add order is taking place, it will be basing on the 500, not 600. Okay, so please be very clear, because if we change suddenly to 300 or 600, then you will have a discrepancy with your position size. So we need to make sure the position size are maintained according to our parameter. So therefore, even if you top up when the bot is running, we will still follow your base balance. So now, when the cycle, okay, now remember, when I say cycle means it's a complete cycle when the bot opens a position until the position closes is considered as a cycle. Okay, so like now, right, we have a position. This position is considered a cycle. It is not closed yet. Once this position, both of these positions close, then the cycle complete, a new cycle will open. So remember, when a cycle complete, there is a 5 minutes gap that we give. Okay, so now please understand, once the cycle completes and a new order now starts to, a new order is open, a new cycle is open, now it will be based on the new amount. Okay, so means now it will be based on your $300 as your base available balance. So means your order size now will be based on, so if it's 1% of 300, that will be $3. Previously, it's 1% of 200, which is $2. Can you see that? So that's how basically it works. So if you don't want to confuse yourself, then you can wait until the cycle completes. So when the cycle completes, and then only you top up, all right, because you got the 5 minutes, right? So when the cycle complete, in that 5 minutes, what you can do, you can immediately transfer your main account to your spot again. And then what you do, you can now top up your sub account, and then you then send the new fund. So let's say now you want to fund your main account 300. So now you transfer 300 from spot into your main account during that 5 minutes. You can take 10 minutes, 50 minutes, it doesn't matter, okay? Because once you remove your fund from the main account, the bot will not open a position because it did not recognize there is an amount available, right? It won't. Until you actually top it up. So when you top it up, when you fund your main account again, then only JDXBot algorithm will check, oh, now there is a fund, so it will see, okay, you got 300. It will check your sub account whether you got 150 or more, right? Because it's 50%. So if it matches, then only your bot will open, okay? Because we have 4 different time frame. We got every 4 hours, okay? Because in a day we got 24 hours, right? So we got every 4 hours, the bot will check, okay, for new funding. All right, so you may see that you move your fund and then you top up your fund, the bot doesn't open immediately. All right, it will wait for the next cycle. Okay, so we got every 4 hours. Okay, once. Okay, the cycle every 4 hours. So this is the two-way. Okay, the two-way. So you can either top up when the bot is running, which is a little bit confusing, because then you have a problem. I don't know how much in my sub account. I don't remember, and so on. Or you wait until the cycle completes, then only you top up your main account. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is how you want to increase or reduce, but please always understand the minimum is 200. All right, so you cannot put lower than 200. The other thing also is that don't put exactly 200. Like sub account, if you put Bitcoin, for example, right? Try not to put exactly, put a little bit more, okay, $1 or $2 more, right? So that, because sometimes when the price is moving, right, it can even drop below 150, okay, because of the appreciative and depreciative due to the volatility of the market. So always put a little bit more, okay? So or else you may be thinking that, hey, I already put enough, the bot should start, but then the bot didn't start. And then you realize that you are receiving emails, right? Notifying you that, hey, your sub account have an insufficient fund, right? So then you lose already a few days, okay? So don't do that. Always put a little bit more so that you don't have this kind of problem. That's why we always tell you, right? 100% is the best, all right? Rather than putting 50%, you put 100%. You will never have a problem, okay? But I hope you understand, okay? These are the two condition or two situation for you to top up your account. Because some of you may be thinking, hey, I already top up. Why is it that I'm not seeing a bigger profit? Because we will not change the base available balance just because you top up. If we do that, it will disrupt your position size. We cannot do that. All right. So that's why we always maintain your base available balance. All right. So like this example, you can see my base available balance is 500. Although now I have 610, that doesn't care. All right. Because we still follow 500. So when I do the next DCA, let's say the DCA is 2%. It's 2% of 500, not 2% of 600. You see that? So this is how it works. So this is why JD Export is successful, because we maintain the order size. We don't keep changing the order size because users suddenly top up. So imagine if you have 200 and then you suddenly have 1,000. And we use for your 1,000 to 2%, it will disrupt your old position size. We cannot do that. Okay? So this is something that I thought that I need to explain to you guys, so that those of you who are in JDXBot, you know how to manage your fund effectively. Okay? So please take note, because at the moment, right, if you look into a JDXBot, the total ad order, I think so far is already 5 ad orders. All right. If I go to Bitcoin, you can see my Bitcoin here. Right? See that? So it is actually a total of 5 ad orders so far. Okay. So the add order is taking place. So that's why you can see the position size. Can you see that? 0.0113 compared to 0.007. So why the position size is big? Because there is already 5 add order, okay, for this Bitcoin. So most of the JDX bot. So although you may see that, hey, I'm not seeing a profit being taken yet, and it is still floating. Yes, but please understand the bot is still working. Okay, it is still adding order. All right, so that's the reason why you can see that the position size is big. So imagine, right, if the market reverses and this ROE minus 94 becomes plus 35, what will be the ROE of this long? It is still positive, right? Both will close in a huge profit because now my order size is huge. So although you wait for 5 days or 6 days, but when it closes, right, you might see probably 7 or 8% profit. Okay, huge profit, right? So this is how it works, okay? So because we be patient and we wait for the market, all right? We don't want to rush and try to, overtake the market. We don't have to do that, all right? We just wait. Because at the end of it, the price has to come back down. You see that? So, but we do DCA to bring the entry price closer to the mark price. So you can see our price is only like 2,000 or 3,000 away, not much. And if the price starts to move down, okay, that all this position will be closed. Okay, so I hope, right, this gives you the clarity, okay, understanding how to manage your JDX bot account. Okay, so this is very important because some people think that just because I top up, I should see a bigger profit. Not necessary. Okay, because that's why we have the keyword, right? Base available balance. Okay, so you can keep changing it, but please understand the base available balance will only be updated after the cycle completes. Okay, not during the cycle. All right, I hope this is clear. Any question you have on this, okay, please let me know. Any question, especially if you have JDX bot running, and you would probably have experienced this and you want to clarify anything, please do so. Anyone? Okay, now I hope you understand, okay? That is the reason why JDX bot is so successful, because the algorithm is working flawlessly. All right, so this is how we are controlling, this is how the bot is controlling the positions of our users, okay? So that's why, if you ask me, right, I think we are one of the best algorithm in place. All right, so we're going to continue to improve that, continue to put in all added features and so on, so that we can make the bot better and better. Okay, so I think so far JDX bot has been doing well, especially the new strategy. I think the new strategy is more appropriate with the Bitcoin market. Okay, I think that is the best part of it. Okay, all right. Any questions, guys, on this? Anything that you would like to clarify? Anything that you would like to ask me on JDX bot, or even the market situation that I've shared with you earlier? Anyone? Yeah. Please feel free. Okay. Even if you want to give your input or comment, please do so. Okay. Just tap the raise hand at the bottom, and you can do so. If you want to ask me about the cut, also you can do so. Any one of you? Any one of you would like to ask me anything? Yes, Obong, please unmute yourself.
Okay, Dr. Jit, confirm you can hear me. Okay. Sorry, I'm offshore Nigeria, so the network may be jittering. I really appreciate what you are doing. The Bitcoin is still an issue. It's still paining me. So this one that you are bringing SRP, let's see. For me, this month definitely I'll try and see what I can do this month once I have my salary, because I don't want to miss this one. I miss when Bitcoin was 30,000, and you pleaded with even some of our colleagues that were in the Zoom meeting were saying it's not possible. But look at where Bitcoin is from 30 to even hit 124. So for me, I'll try and see what I can do with this XRP. Another thing I wanted to the XRP you mentioned, is there that you have another program that you want the team to look at in terms of, like you're saying, earning the SRP apart from people maybe buying it directly from exchange directly? Is there another program you are looking at? Maybe like trade like we are getting.
Yeah, I mean, what to say? What I want to do is that probably I will create a program, whereby you know, that those who are interested, they can invest, you know, and then earn XRP. You know, so let's say they earn 200% XRP, right? So I think that will be probably appropriate. That is one way. All those people who think that they have the money and they want to buy XRP directly and hold it, they can even do so. So it's an options, you know, because one is the problem with buying is that you need to time the market. Okay, because now you buy at $3. How it goes to $5? Are you going to still buy? How if it goes to $8? Are you going to still buy? So that's the problem with buying your own. But if you are investing with me, then you are just going to earn every month XRP, no matter what is the market price.
Okay.
You see that? So even if it's $8, you're still going to get your XRP, right? So let's say, for example, if you invest and let's say you earn 10%, or maybe let's say 8 to 10% XRP a month, example. Or let's say for a simple calculation, you're going to earn about 10% XRP a month. All right. So you put a minimum of 20 XRP, 10% means every month you get 2 XRP. If you put 1,000 XRP, every month you get about 10 XRP. You see, until you get your 200%, right? So if you put 20 XRP, 200% will be 40 XRP. If you put 1,000 XRP, 200% will be 2,000 XRP, something like that, right? So you are going to earn XRP no matter what is the price. Okay, but you are only investing 1,000 XRP, right? So, but if you're going to buy your own, then you need to time the market. You need to know when to buy. So normally you buy the dip. You don't buy when the price go up. But the problem is that how you know that the price is going to come down? You see that? So that is the challenge so many people have, because they may not know when to buy, right? And also the risk that is involved. So those who think that they want to they have the money, they want to buy now at 3,000, at $3, they want to buy 1,000. That is it, and they want to keep it. That is up to each individual, right? But not everyone may have the money to straight away buy and keep it. But how if XRP price drop to $2 then? So that's why it's dangerous to buy one shot. That's why we always advise do DCA. All right, dollar cost averaging. So you buy every month. So that's why we pay every month 10% is actually like a DCA. You are earning every month is actually like you are doing a DCA of the XRP. That's the whole idea of it. So, but anyhow, I'm open for any feedback or any kind of suggestion. But that is what I'm thinking, because at the end of it, we have a community, and it's good to create our own program rather than going into other programs and then start to have problems where they exit and all those things, right? The third party, the risk is more. So if we have our own team and we can actually take care of our own community, I think that will be better. Okay. So yeah, so that is my proposal, okay, my suggestion.
Okay, doctor. That's good. Then on the on the JDS board you mentioned, team, I want to confirm that what doctor said happened to me because I added fund on the main account, but when the board closes, I forgot to also add at the sub account. So I got an email that my sub account is not up to 50%. You know, so the board didn't start until I had to add fund on the sub account. So if anybody, any of us is doing adding that fund, please let's ensure that we also top at the sub account. In fact, for me, I'm proposing, I'm just advising all of us, both JDX copy master and JDS board. Let's try, and if we can put more than 50%, the best. Thank you, Dr. JD, for what you are doing. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate that, Obam. Truly appreciate. Thank you so much. For that input. Really appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. So that is that is basically I think what we have here today. So because I just want to cover that JDX board, I think that is very critical. If you're going to top up and so on, right? So just take note of that. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, guys, you have the opportunities ready. You see, the thing is that after so much of experience that we have, right, I decided to rather just create my own program for our people, right, rather than we introducing other people's program and then they start to have problem and so on, and then so we don't want to go through that cycle anymore. So that's why we got the JDX bot, we got the JDX copy master, all right, and because we are doing all these things, we can create other program for the community as long as the communities, the communities concern and the benefits are taken care, right? So that is basically what we want to do. Okay. So, but nevertheless, these are some of the things that we can actually do as a team in order to empower our team financially. Okay. So this is simple things, right? Empowering ordinary people. So we make things affordable so that everyone is able to, be part of this kind of wealth creations and so on. Okay. So, all right. Anyone else have any other questions? Anything else that you want to ask or clarify? You may do so. Anyone? No one? Everything is good? Okay, great. So if there is no other thing, right? So I want to adjourn the meeting. So we will meet up, okay, next week, during the presentation on Tuesday. Next week, there is no AMA. AMA is only alternate weeks, okay? First week and the third week. Just take note of that. So do look forward. If I'm still undecided whether I want to do the XRP. I will see if there is, a positive response, then I will go, because once I do it, right, then the pressure is on my side, okay? The responsibility is on my side. So then I have to make sure it is like another responsibility. I have to take another responsibility. But I'm just thinking about the community to take advantage, of this opportunity, or or just go and buy, XRP and keep it. Yeah. So I will let you guys know. So what we will do is that I think if anyone is interested, probably they can join, the another Telegram group for the XRP project or something like that. So only those who are interested will be in that group. So those who are not interested, they can just, maybe just buy XRP on their own or something like that, right? So, and then we will see what is the best way to go about it, because some countries, they don't have crypto, right? Because if you're going to make payment through crypto, like example, you want to be part of the program and you have to pay through USDT, let's say. So then you have to purchase USDT and so on, right? Because all the payment will be done through crypto, all right? So that is also challenge for a lot of some countries, right? They might have the challenge because they need to go and find cryptos and so on, okay? But nevertheless, it's all part and puzzle of investment, okay? Part and puzzle of investment. So you have to find a way how to get those assets in order for you to get started. But the beauty is that once you are earning, right, it will come straight to your wallet. And now you have crypto. Even you can now convert your XRP to USDT, and then you can send your USDT to your crypto card, and you can spend in your native currency, right? I think that is awesome, right? See, that is the workable strategy we want to find. So at the end of it, it's not just about earning, right? Now we have the card where we can even actually spend, 4 times or 3 times, greater than our currency, right? So that is what we want to do, right? So I think those are some of the workable strategy that we need to see in what way we can move towards it. Okay, so I will let you guys know, okay, once I decided. But nevertheless, if any one of you are interested, you want to reach out to me, all right, do reach out. You can send an email, okay, to JD. Maybe send it to JD Wealthmaker. Let me put in the chat. Yeah, you can send it to my jdwealthmaker@gmail.com if you're interested. So probably I will then respond. I think that will be better. I will then respond to you from the email. Okay, that will be better, right? So okay guys, any other questions, any other inputs, any other comments, any other things that you would like to ask me, please do so before we adjourn the meeting. Anyone? Okay, so if there is no questions, then I would like to say thank you so much. Appreciate you guys, coming on board today. Let me just unmute you all. Okay, all right. Thank you guys. We will catch up again. God bless you all. Yeah, you can say goodbye. You are unmuted.
Thank you so much, Dr. JD. God bless you. Really
Thank you. God
appreciate
bless you.
everything. Really appreciate. Thank you so much.
God bless you all. Take care.